Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing a book review of sorts. Just talking about this new book that I got for I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, like Book Club Thursday or something. Or something I came across this morning where a lot of YouTubers are collabing together. I remember when I used to blog, a lot of bloggers would have, YOLO Thursday or whatever. So I thought, well, you know what, that's a fun way to meet other people online and check out other people's channels and be part of a little online community. So I found a few channels that do collabs. I know Jamie's Colouring does colouring collabs, and I was going to do some of those, and I just ended up not really having the time. But now I'm starting to get back into colouring in, so I'm going to try and do some more colouring collabs. There's journal collabs, there's book collabs, all sorts of things. So this one is for just basically anything bookish. I could talk about my books, I could talk about writing tips, I could talk about the books I'm reading, talk about organising my bookcase, anything really. So today I'm going to be talking about this. So this was an early Mother's Day present from Ben, and I love Cher. I'm a big Cher fan. I love her movies. I think Mermaids is probably my favourite one of hers. I do like The Mask, that was a good one. But I thought Mermaids was a pretty cool movie. She's a pretty cool character. Being a single mum, I could relate to that when I was a single mum. But yeah, so this book, I've read only 2 chapters this morning. So it's a big book. It's got about, let me tell you how many pages it's got. It's got 413 pages. So this is the dust jacket. Nice back cover there. And this is what it looks like without the dust jacket. And it's got the Cher's eyes in there, in the front and in the back. And I'll just put the dust jacket back on. But basically it's part 1 of 2. And I believe this one covers her early life, and then the second book's going to cover sort of once she became a solo artist, broke away from Sunny, and then 80s once she got into movies and acting and stuff. And this sort of takes us up to where she's with Sunny and their TV show and her children and all that sort of stuff. So the first 2 chapters I've just read. It's pretty full on. The first 2 chapters. She talks about her family history and how her mum was born to a supposedly 13-year-old mother and 16-year-old father who were both escaping bad situations and ended up having an abusive relationship, and then that's how her mum came to be. And then her mum grew up in that, and her mum was a singer actually. I'm going to Google that later because I didn't know anything about Cher's mum. I didn't know that she was a singer. I don't know if there's anything online, like I don't know if there's any photos or if anything really exists of that, but apparently that's where Cher got her voice from. And her mum used to go and perform when she was only like 5 years old and bring money in for the family because they were so poor. And then she managed to finally get away, and then she was staying at this place, like working as like a housemaid, and they let her go to school and study in that, like during the day, as long as she did her chores. But then when she turned 15, her dad wrote to her and asked her to go home and look after him because he had injured himself and was in a full body cast, even though a few years prior he had gone in one night to turn the gas on to try and kill, well, I'm not going to say that on YouTube, try to unalive her and her brother. And so yeah, like it's pretty crazy. Like that's Cher's mum, and that's what Cher's grown up hearing, all these stories and listening to all of that. But yeah, so her mum sort of went back, looked after the father, and then apparently went back to LA, and then that's where I'm up to. So I'm really keen to read that and see what happens next, because obviously we know she has Cher at some point, and apparently Cher grew up surrounded by glamorous people and a mum who could sing, so is any surprise that Cher ended up being who she is? So yeah, I think it's going to be a good book, and I don't know when the second one is due out. I'd say probably 12 months at least before the second one comes out, but just having some look of some photos. That's a picture of Cher's mum there by the looks of it. Very beautiful lady. And just having a look. There's a young Cher right there. She's very beautiful as well. She looks a bit different now. I think she's had some surgery. She does look a bit different, but she is still a gorgeous lady. Everyone's looks change as they get older. There's that one looks a bit more like a young Cher that I recognise. So that one. And just going to find a couple more photos, and then I'll just leave it there. This is just a short video. I've only read 2 chapters, but I wanted to put something out to be part of the online collab on Thursday. So there's a picture of Cher after giving birth, and I believe that is her first child. I have to get this right. So she refers to her son as Chaz in this book, but then I believe, let me read the front of the book, because she did say something about it. So if you don't know, which most people probably do, Cher's child is trans. So it went from Chaz to chastity. Here we go. So in this memoir, I refer to my son Chaz as Chas, the name he went by during the years covered in this book. Chaz has granted his blessings for this usage. In the next volume, at the appropriate point, I will refer to my son as Chaz. Okay, so she had a daughter and then she transitioned to male. Okay, I had to remember myself there. So anyway, that's picture. Yeah, there's a few more pictures there, and I'll leave it at that. Let me know if you're a Cher fan in the comments and if you've read the book or if you plan on reading the book. Thanks for watching.